Welcome to the Tepper School of Business Multimedia Series. For more information on the Tepper School at Carnegie Mellon, please visit us at www.tepper.cmu.edu/multimedia. And now, here's your selected video.
I think everybody's style is a compendium of the experiences you've been through, and I've had the opportunity and was fortunate to work for a number of really great leaders, and I think you take a little bit of a tidbit from each of the people you worked for. Some you've liked better than others, but you learn something from each of them, and so I think so often your own experiences are reflected in your own personal style. And I can recall early in my career I got asked to go run a plant that was going to be closed in 3 months after I got there, and we got to that plant and I thought, gee, we've got 90 days to see whether this plant lives or dies, and what's going to make the difference are the people here at this site who know this site best, and it's a matter of providing them with some new inspiration about why it's important to change this facility, and they really got the job done. And I think coming out of that, I came away from a very strong experience that it's the team that really makes the difference in any of these broad, complex enterprises, and that gets reflected, I think, in your own style over time, that you recognize while an idea can be powerful, a team is what really creates the success. I think people were very anxious to get out and try to share their expertise with our customers directly, and I've long felt that you make an enormous mistake when you put a filter between your most creative people and your customers' most creative people. And when you're talking about engineered products, which is what we produce, products that really help power productivity through better fuel efficiency, better use of energy, you really need people who know their subject matter well. So when we got our engineers out talking to people, sure, there were concerns that did they have the commercial skills, had they had the experience. They picked that up very quickly. And what really differentiated our company as a result then is we were out there nose to nose with our customers' best engineers, really designing solutions that solved their toughest problems. And out of that came market share gain, faster revenue growth, and broader career opportunities for our engineers, because many of whom have moved from the labs into commercial assignments, into general management assignments. It's really opened the company up. Today, about 72–73% of all of Eaton is in our electrical and our fluid power business, which has both an aerospace and hydraulics business in it. That contrasts with just some 8 or 9 years ago when 70% of our business was in our truck and automotive businesses. And we made a decision that we really wanted to move more aggressively into a number of fields that were growing a little bit faster, and frankly, where we didn't have quite the market shares that we had historically enjoyed and still enjoy in our truck and automotive business. As a result, today, our company is balanced globally. We're about 55% of our revenue comes from outside of the U.S. We're balanced during the economic cycle with about 1/3 of our businesses positioned in early cycle businesses, about 1/3 in mid-cycle, and about 1/3 in late cycle. And then importantly, we're balanced across these 5 segments. The advantage to being an employee within the company is you have a great deal of career opportunities moving across these different businesses. The advantage to our shareholders is we participate particularly well all the way through the economic cycle. And for people who are looking for an international experience in their workplace, and clearly today is a much more global market than it was just 10 years ago, you don't have to go outside of Eaton to have a truly global opportunity. So we think this diversification is really one on all 3 bases for us. Yeah, aside from the current economic malaise, which I think everyone is still trying to get their hands around, I'd say the #1 issue for us is speed and really operating as a global company, not an international company. Let me address speed first. As companies grow larger, and we've stated our goal to be at $18 billion by 2010, and many people think we may get there a year earlier than that at this point, the tendency is for companies to get slower, for control mechanisms or historic procedures to slow decision-making down. And so we're spending a lot of time in terms of the company trying to build our regional strength so the decisions are made in Asia, they're made in the U.S., they're made in South America, they're made in Europe. And they don't all have to come back to a headquarters or an operational center. That has a necessary conflict within it because people who've been making all those decisions don't want to give them all up. But that's the #1 issue we're focused on, is organizational speed to keep that dynamism within the company that really propels new growth. As we talk about the difference between a global company and an international companies tend to be businesses that are headquartered somewhere, and those decisions are made globally from that center. As I mentioned, we've grown very rapidly, and with 55% of our sales now outside of the U.S., almost 60% of our employees outside of the U.S., we need to have great big jobs located all around the world to attract the best talent in those locations. And that's a huge talent focus of ours today. So if you go to Europe or South America or Asia, you see we've got a major initiative on to build senior jobs, have jobs that have worldwide responsibility located in those specific regions of the world. Very exciting initiative for talent within our organization. I think as you're looking at the environment today, one has to have some cause of reserve about what jobs will be available for me when I get out of school. With the economy looking like it's running off, we think the likelihood is that you see several quarters of negative GDP growth here in Europe. You can't go through school and build up the kind of debt that all of us built up going through school and not be worried about what will be there for you. I would simply say that I think the kind of skills that you build during your MBA curriculum are exactly the kind of skills that enterprises that are continuing to face complex problems need. I think it's a time when you're likely to see that many of the professional services jobs aren't as attractive as they are during the high point of the cycle. And that plays to companies just like Eaton Corporation. We're continuing to invest aggressively. We're an engineered-based company with disciplines across both mechanical power, fluid power, and electrical power. We're all around this issue of high fuel prices and how do you have customers really do well with more efficient uses of fuel. And so I think the opportunities are robust in manufacturing still at a time when the U.S. is having all-time exports of manufactured goods. This is a great time to join a manufacturing company like Eaton.